Bloody hell, it's absolutely pissing down outside. Anyway, Max here again, welcome back to the shop. So this episode we're going to get back into the drive shaft that we're making for the Bonnar mower. So after, or you would have seen last episode, we managed to sort our lathe out a bit so we can get back into parallel turning. So we've just got some features to do on the end and a thread to cut, single point thread to cut. When we do the thread, I'll show you, this is my preferred method of doing a single point thread for a basic commercial thread. If you want to take that, you can actually take that to another level. If you know the particular grade of thread that you need to cut the tolerance, it's a similar process but with an extra couple of formulas involved. Anyway, so yeah, we'll hook on with our shaft. And we had a couple of stickers arrived in the mail from old Cameron over in Melbourne. So Cam at Bonnar, he does some little interesting bits and pieces on his channel over there. So we'll get him mounted up on the board with some of the others. So anyway, let's swing you around and we'll head over to the lathe. So there you go, Cam, you're in with some good company there. Although this one doesn't video too much nowadays, spends all his time on Facebook. Bloody good on you, Bruce. So yeah, if you check out Cam's channel, Cam at Bonnar, and he gets up to some quite interesting stuff from time to time, so worth a look in. Okay, we have 42 thou to come off our shaft, so I'll take it as a 30 and a 12. Being how it's already parallel and we're not chasing a taper. So the 30, so we'll dial in 15, that'll take the 30. That will leave a bit of a taper, and then judging by how much taper's on that is whether we take the 12 in one cut or split it into two. Get rid of that fuzz. Okay, we had a, I just put a different insert in for this cut just to see how it goes, and must have a slightly larger nose radius than the previous one that we were using. Just slight bit of chatter there. About 1 3/4 taper in that. I'm going to switch this insert out. It's a new insert. It was just one I was trying, and I do not know the grade of it. It was just one that I was given. Okay, so where were we? Okay, I'll just take a light 10th thou cut. Bloody stringy stuff this is. Okay. Okay, we've got 8 thou. We're down to 1 thou taper. Yeah. And 8 thou to come off. Last cut. So we're going to get a thou taper in that. We're still 3 thou up on size to where we need to be. One more cut. With 3/4 of a thou taper, yeah, 3/4 of a thou taper. You get a fair bit of tool pressure to turn this. Every time I put in the cut, it's not taking the full amount. So we're 2 thou up. What do we like in the middle? Yeah. Two thou up, so one more cut. So we're 3/4 of a thou taper all up, so that's fine. So I'll just turn down the end step and then we'll do the thread. Okay, before we get into the other end of the shaft, I'll show you the reason why we're getting those differences. So I'm just going to grab hold of the shaft and flex the shaft quite lightly by hand, and you can see where, I know you're looking at the indicator at a bit of an angle, but it's probably 3/4 of a thou there, and that's up close to the chuck, so it's quite rigid there. You get halfway down the bar, so we get a bit more. Come down the end of our part, get quite a lot there. Now, okay, we come onto our centre, and I'll wiggle apart. We get quite a lot there, but now what I'm going to do is wiggle I'll bring it down a bit, the actual centre, and I'm struggling to get 1 thou right at the centre. But at the part, so what that means the bearings in this revolving centre have got wear in them, so that's something I'm going to have to address. So anyway, let's carry on. Okay, that's 1.78" to our first shoulder, and this original part is an imperial measured part, so we'll just stick with imperial all the way. And I'm very tempted to put a steady rest in the middle due to that little bit of chatter I got there doing that our turning length mark and the condition of the centre. So yeah, I think I'll put a steady rest in the centre. Hour and a half to go. We're getting a fair bit of spring due to the, well, because of the wear in our centre and the hardness of the material. So we're still 1 hour and a half up. We'll take another cut. Half a thou up, we'll take another cut. We should be there. That's it, we're there. We are a couple of, probably 2/10 under 590, and we check our shaft. We'll check our shaft on the important part, which is up here. And this shaft measures probably about 4/10 under 590. There's a bit of wear down here. Yeah, it's about 1 hour and a half below down here, so there's wear in it. But up here I can see where it goes into a bearing, I think. We are half a thou under 590. So we'll let ours go. This is the important end here, and we're just above half a thou. So we're spot on size there. So our next step is to machine it down for the 1/2 inch thread. I'll just get my vernier and mark off the distance. So we've got a 1/2 inch diameter thread for 1/2 inch long. there. We'll slow the lathe down a bit and put a mark. Okay. That's it. Okay, I'll rip this down to 1/2 inch and then I'll bring you back. Okay, we'll get set up for the thread. Usually I'd square the tool off just up against the face of the chuck here, but because we've got a steady rest in the way, I'm just going to use a 1, 2, 3 block to ensure that the tool is square. That's just a quick, easy way, which will get it close enough. Okay, in order to cut our thread, which is a 1/2 inch UNF thread, 20 TPI, one way of doing it, there's lots of ways. Here's one way. I have a Starrett book here, Starrett book for student machinists. It actually used to belong to my dad. So we'll go to the page double depth of threads. Now we're cutting a 20 TPI thread. So we look threads per inch column. Come down to 20 TPI. Come across to American National Form, and the number is 0.06495. So we'll just round that off to 0.064, which we have here. So what we're going to do, we halve that, and then that's our feed in. So we're going to feed in 32 thou, probably just feed in 30 thou, and then we'll take a measurement of the pitch diameter over wires. So our wire size for a 20 TPI thread, we use a 32 thou wire. So we use this figure here in the add column and add that to our outside diameter of the thread, the major diameter, which is that 1/2 inch plus that figure there, 0.02023. So our measurement over these wires is 520 thou. So we'll probably go 520, 519, and we'll be there. So if you don't have a nut to fit, that is really the only way to be sure your thread's going to be where it needs to be. You can wing it with a double depth, but due to other information, you got crests and threads and things like that, and the radius of your tool, which will give you varying results with that going straight off that method. If you do go straight off that method, which I do lots of times, I will always make sure I have the sample piece to screw on, whereas over wires you're cutting a standard thread to as it's supposed to be, so you don't really need the sample thread. So okay, we'll get the lathe set up for 20 TPI, and as we said, we will plough straight in 30 thou, 32 thou, and then we'll just go 30, and then we'll take a measurement, and then we'll know exactly what we've got to take off to get to our final figure. Okay, so I've got a 0 across slide dial. So I'll do that quickly now. That's it there. I do use the magnifying glass, and I do find if I close one eye, it's easier. Okay, so I've got my dial set on the cross slide to a 0 position, so I'll just put a chamfer on the leading edge first. Back into slow gear, we'll take a scratch pass. Okay, that's looking okay. So we are cutting 20 TPI, so let's rock on in. Okay, we'll take a measurement. That's my lunch alarm. One thing we did check was we did verify that the nut, our thread on our shaft, is actually a right-hand thread, which is something very important to do. So that's the lunch alarm. We'll go and see what we got for lunch. Good old feed of bacon and eggs, that'll do me. Okay, let's check our size. Okay, we're on 525 over wires, and our target is 520. So we've got 5 more thou to come off, 5-6 thou to come off. Okay, we'll take another couple of cuts. Okay, I'll remove our rag. I always put a rag underneath in case I drop those thread wires in the swarf tray, so it'll be difficult to find. Now, because I've had lunch, I've forgotten what number we were on. I think we were on 30 thou our last cut, so we'll try that. Okay, pop our rag back down. I'll probably have to revisit. Oh shit, just dropped one. I have one in my mouth. I usually hold the third one in my mouth when I started talking. I'll just reposition the camera because all you're going to see there is a photo of my arm. Hang on. Just get you in there somewhere. Something like that. Ah, you bastard. Okay. So we were going for 520, I believe. Yeah, 520. Hang on, we've jumped the thread here. That's better. We're right on 520 there. Probably 15th above it, a couple of tenths. That should be right there. Yeah, you can see that better now. Yeah, so I think we're right. Let's have a test fit with the nut. Okay, I've lost the nut. Okay, I found the nut. It was on the other shaft. Just have to move this tailstock back a bit. That's it. That's absolutely perfect. Beautiful. Just a streak of rust on there. I'll just clean that off. Okay, that's our thread. It came out well. Bang on size. So if we look at go back to our original double depth measurement, 64 thou. According to this, we should have gone in 32 thou. We actually went in 33 thou. So, as I say, the double depth will get you close. And then it's best to go, unless you've got a nut to try, it's best, safest way is to have a verification with a measurement over wires.